This RMR ruined my life.
Flyquest put an end to GR's campaign.
No, nobody cares.
Commiserations to Alter Ego. It's a roster filled with generational talent, national treasures of different scenes. And unfortunately for them, their swan song has come to an end.
I feel like the Alter Ego GR last place finishes was fairly predictable, but at least Alter Ego had some kind of cool storylines, so we'll go over them a little bit. They lost both of their games to Mongolz and Lynn Vision. The BO1 against the Mongolz looks closer than it actually was. They went down 10-2 and made a fake comeback to get 8 rounds. They took a map off Lynn Vision, which is cool, I guess. But I mean, this team never had a chance to qualify. Out of all the teams in this RMR, they probably could have beaten GR, and that's it. It was really cool to see Bentet roll back the years. In that BO1 where they got blown out against Mongolz, he actually played really well. Had some nice impact in multi-kill rounds against Lynn Vision. Overall, I was really happy to see that. I always loved that old Tyloo roster, so it's good to see one of their star players still playing well. And Zine, kind of a poop-ass name. You're getting called Ziggin. Ziggin being the last hope for South Korea is a cool storyline. Unfortunately, it wasn't much of a hope, and now Buddy's getting shipped to Iraq for military service. Dobu and Freeman were not great. I mean, they were fine. Before this RMR, 8kit had a 1.68 rating. He immediately got outed as a fraud. He was the lowest rated player on the team as the AWPer. That's unfortunately what happens when you can't farm God's Rain for kills. In his defense though, in that Lynn Vision series, it looked like he was getting warmed up a little bit. He was fairly good on Dust too. Maybe if they won this series, he would have been better in the next one, but we'll never know.
So whether this org sticks around remains to be seen. Whether this team sticks around now remains to be seen.
Talon, more like Jimmy Fallon. Talon, more like my beautiful hot stallion. Why couldn't you make it through, please? Stallion means a bad bitch with a body. This close. This is how close we were to greatness. My hot take was you would make it through the upper bracket and beat Flyquest, and you fuckers only did half the job. I'm just being hard on you because I love you. Good try, boys. Taking down Flyquest, even if it was a BO1, is incredibly impressive. They just couldn't do it in the BO3s, man. And this actually makes me kind of upset because I actually really love this roster. I think they could do work if they stuck together. Unfortunately, you were picked up by an org just to get sticker money. You didn't get that sticker money. They're probably cooked. They've got a dope logo. I like the name Talon. I mean, just come on, guys. Please stay together. Australia needs another top team other than Flyquest, man. Like, fuck. Netic and MHL were their two best players. That's how it should be. And I think this team actually could have made it through and beaten Rare Atom if they were just a team for a little bit longer. Like, I think it was on Vertigo. They're in a 5v2 and they all just run in and die to one guy. Team play and chemistry just wasn't really on point. And if that was a little bit better, I feel like strategically they were pretty good. Whatever, man. I take the L on this hot take. It is what it is. But like, I'm being so serious. Please stick together. I cannot keep watching Flyquest, please.
Flyquest are 3 rounds away from giving it to Lynn Vision on their map pick.
My goats, Zacher, and Western Watermelon. You just didn't have enough gas. You guys were close, but in no universe were you gonna beat Flyquest in that last BO3. I thought you were the best Chinese team in this bracket. You still might be. You just had a harder road through. The core of Zacher, Amelia, and Westmelon can do work. I'm telling you they can. I know Flying was pretty decent, but I think if you replace him in a Fufu, this team can be so much better. And like, I need you guys to chop because I cannot keep watching you waste Zacher's career. I truly love watching him play. I'm a Zacher simp. Also, I just want to talk about Westmelon because I think he's a fine in-game leader. He always puts up decent numbers, but for like a year or two now, every time I watch him play, I get put in a trance. I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but the way he kills people is just so satisfying. Literally nobody else I have ever watched kills people like he does. I might be crazy, but I genuinely I start drooling when I watch him kill people. I think it's the way he just like stops, lines up on their head for a second and just pops it. It's just so good, man. It just feels like slow and methodical and surgical. I think that's why I like this team so much. When they beat Greyhound in the previous RMR, I watched him and I was like, what the fuck is this? I literally I loved it so much. And I like flashy oppers, so of course I'm gonna like this team. Dope logo too. I mean, shit. Anyways, are there even any other Chinese players they could pick up besides Flying in a Fufu? I'm not like super familiar with the scene. If anyone is, please let me know because like there has to be someone.
13 and Flyquest will represent Australia one more time.
Flyquest! would you mind stepping into my office for a minute? It would have been a complete disaster if you guys missed. I'm sorry to any Australian and Flyquest fans. I just gotta rant a little bit here. I've always been a huge supporter of Australian teams. I loved Renegades. I loved 100 Thieves. I like this Talon team. I just cannot support Flyquest. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is about them. I just don't want to watch them, and they make me angry. Dexter seems like a really nice guy, but seeing how much better Mouse has become without him, I'm sorry, brother. I don't think you're it. Ins might be the best rifler in the whole country. Look, a 1.24 rating in 2024, which goes down by 0.2 as soon as you put a top 20 filter on. When you're supposed to be a top 20 team, your star player falling off against top 20 teams is not a good look. Don't even get me started about Alistair, man. Liaz is about 4 years past his prime. A 1.11 in 2024, a goddamn 0.84 against top 20. Oh my, almost as bad as Alistair. Vexite might be the only player on this team I don't mind. He also falls off incredibly hard against top 20 teams, but he's young, so I'm letting it slide just for now, okay? There are like certain requirements that teams have to meet for me to be a hater of them, and Flyquest meets quite a few of them. One is I hate stagnant, mediocre teams because it's boring. And two, one of the reasons why I can't stand nouns, you destroy everyone in your region, but as soon as you go international, it just feels like you fall off a cliff. That just makes me mad for some reason. You're gonna bully these poor little Australian teams just to get stomped by anyone in the top 50? I'm telling you, dude, we need Talon to save this region. Throw Vexite on Talon for Hazard, and you have an elite level team. I'm telling you. Anyways, Flyquest will not be making it out of the next round. I'm telling you this in confidence.
The streets of Shanghai will sing as the old dragons soar in the sky one more time. Rare Atom represent China at the Shanghai Major.
After that, they have another BO1 against Rare Atom. Oh, Rare Atom. Rare Atom? More like dumb Atom. Some people were just placed on this earth to have a mortal enemy. This is worse than 9/11. My mortal enemy, Child King, dropped a 1.23 rating, and Rare Atom fucking cooked. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I didn't even mind their style of play. They were hyper aggressive with snappy aim, and fuck, man. I mean, how can I hate on that? I'm still a Rare Atom hater, don't get me wrong, but like, 74-year-old talent Kaze rolled back the years and dropped a 1.42. You cannot make this up. Here's the thing, though, okay? You beat GR and Talon to make it through. Am I supposed to be impressed? If Lynn Vision switched places with you, they would have done the same exact thing. I can promise you this. So I'm not going to give them an apology, but maybe I'll drop the Rare Atom Child King hater bit because I actually liked watching them play. And it's good for the scene if we can have a Chinese team playing well. My dream is to have an elite level team from every part of the world, not just be incredibly dominated by Europe, and they're the hometown heroes, and hometown advantage is incredibly real. Like, I'm talking to the point they maybe make playoffs just because this is in Shanghai, and I'm being genuinely so serious. What am I, 0 for 40 on hot takes now? But listen, guys, I can totally see this happening. Anyways, listen, Rare Atom, you had an easy path. I'm not really that impressed, but I did enjoy watching you play, and we needed some Chinese representation for the Shanghai Major, so we can be friends temporarily. My new enemy can be Flyquest for the time being.
Mongolz will secure it. They make it the perfect world Shanghai Major.
I'm really not going to talk about the Mongols for too long. I think we all saw this coming. Drillas did take a map off of you, but you just were sleeping. The next two maps you cooked. Great RMR from Azino, and hopefully the next time I'm talking about you guys, it will be because you made the playoffs.
But Inns clutches it out. It's 22 to Flyquest as the rumor erupts, and they knock out the Drillas, defending the Asian CS spot.
I had to sit up in my chair for this one. We saved the best for last. Let's be honest, this is pretty much the entire point of the video. I'm going to start this part off by talking about how the players and the team actually performed at the RMR, and then I'm just going to rant for a little bit. They start off with a great win against Lynn Vision, but we got a little bit of foreshadowing that game that maybe they can't close things out, or maybe they just struggle to close games out. They'd go up on Ancient 12-5 and almost choke that lead, winning 13-11. We also learned they have some problems on their CT side. Then, by the grace of God, they took a map off of Mongolz, and it was fairly dominant, but they did the same thing they did in the game before that, where they almost threw on their CT side. Unfortunately, the Mongols would wake up the next 2 maps and they would lose and get sent down to the lower bracket to play Flyquest. Such a brutal, brutal path. They ended up playing the top 3 ranked teams at this RMR. And that series against Flyquest is one of the best and most entertaining series I have ever seen. That last map on Ancient was just cinema. And they go up in overtime 18-15. But then that foreshadowing of them not being able to close out games comes into play. And they don't win a single round. And by that next overtime, their mental is just fried. It was a great tournament from Kvem and Waro, like we expected. Haji, Saneri, and Meztal all had their moments. But that's going to be it for this team. We're probably never going to see this roster of players playing again while playing together. It could be cool to see Waro and Kvem go to a team together. Other than that, I don't really see any of these guys playing with each other again. But now I just want to talk about the situation as a whole. A lot of people are very happy about this and a lot are very devastated. Getting funny German man's face in the game would have been sick. So I am a little sad. I completely understand why people are upset. Well, I mean, kind of. If you aren't really a fan of his and it geeks you out a little bit that they are a European team playing in the Asian RMR, I can understand being a little off put. But if you're like genuinely very upset about this and celebrating, you need to get your head checked. I'm so sorry. You're a cynical, sad, boring person for what? I promise you this shit is not that serious. It was a fun project from a huge member of the community to try and get a funny sticker in the game. At least that's how it started. Of course, eventually it would turn out to be more than that. This would have helped out all of these players tremendously. Maybe not Waro as much because he was already well known, but all of the other 4 players got so much recognition from this. I'm sure they're going to be getting calls from other teams soon. Kvem has been in contract jail for how long now? He finally got his name out there and teams should be maybe willing to buy him out, at least on a loan. Honestly, his career might have single-handedly been saved by this. You gotta understand, this wasn't just some selfish act to get his face in the game. Like, come on. Along with this, I'm all about entertainment, okay? Like, I don't like boring teams. I like exciting, fun teams. And I'm sorry to Asian CS fans, a majority of the scene does not give a fuck about the Asian RMR. This is the most viewers the Asian RMR has gotten in however long, and that not only gave exposure to the Drillas, but every other single team in it. So this was an overall net positive for the Asian scene, I feel like. And it's not like they even took a spot away from any of the teams. Even if they did, like if they beat Flyquest, Lynn, I'm sorry, those teams don't deserve to be in the major if you can't beat a mix of just European players. Not only all of this, but going back to the entertainment aspect, they gave us one of the best series in an RMR that I've ever fucking seen against Flyquest. That was pure cinema, even if they did lose. So personally, I'm not overly upset. Like, it would have been nice to get own stickers in the game, but I don't really care that much. But it was a fun storyline to follow. It was entertaining. We got an incredible series out of it. I just don't understand why you would want to be so cynical. Now, from the other side of things, they were a European team in the Asian RMR. This situation just is not comparable to Liquid or Wildcard. It just isn't. Liquid, for example, they have 2 North Americans in Oceania and 2 Europeans, so they can choose. The org is based out of North America. They've always been in North America. They compete in some North American qualifiers. You can't tell me the situation is similar. Same exact fucking thing for Wildcard. 2 North Americans. Sonic is an honorary North American, but even if you want to say he isn't, he's from South Africa. South Africa would compete in the Asian RMR and 2 Europeans, so they're also not a majority non-North American. They also play in all of the North American smaller events. They're in the North American Pro League. Like, what? Come on. With all of that being said, they made it into the Asian RMR fairly. They had 2 from each region, and Haji's like half and half. He's half Moroccan. He's half Moroccan. I don't give a fuck if he's played in Europe his entire career. Why wouldn't he? It's the hub for Counter-Strike. It has all the best teams, all the best players. It would make no sense not to. You can't just discard someone's citizenship to a country because it doesn't fit your agenda. I guess we'll never know, but I highly doubt they planned out to replace Amsalem before doing this. Disagreements happen in teams all the time. Just happen to be with one of the Israeli players. And if you have the option, why wouldn't you pick a European sub? Plus, Ona's always loved the Guild Eagle players, so having Scenario was probably so much fun for him. You can call it scummy. There were no rule breaks. That's pretty much everything I have to say about this situation. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. The winner of the Fantasy League was Downkey. He was a Rare Atom believer, and they fucking pulled through for him. So congrats to you. You can join Play Fantasy with us if you'll follow me on Twitter. Discord soon.